my 7 picks for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Class of 2025 inductees. Now, before I get into this, please don't forget to hit the like button, comment on this video, share this video, and if you still haven't, please subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell for updates. Okay, so with that out of the way, I was very pleasantly surprised by the roster for the inductees for the class of 2025 for this year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which will be the ceremony, I believe, takes place in April. And from the last, I say since 2012, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has kind of been infiltrated by the woke movement. And some of their choices that were artists that were in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I felt like shouldn't have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. However, this year it's pretty much the bands and the artists that have been chosen seem more back to substance than just say an agenda. So with that being said, I'm going to go through my 7 picks, and at the same time I'm going to cancel one of the woke artists that were in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that I feel that shouldn't have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So my first pick, though, from the class of 2025 this year is Bad Company. I hope these guys get in. This is a classic rock band from the 70s. English, so we already have Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Deep Purple. This is a long time coming. I mean, you got Paul Rodgers on vocals, Simon Kirke on drums. Great songs like Good Lovin' Gone Bad, Bad Company, Shooting Star, Feel Like Making Love. A lot of hits, you know what I mean? And these guys should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which were inducted in 2012. And that band is a woke band. It's a horrible band. I always felt like their guitar player was the only thing that's credible, and anyone that I feel is talented. I feel like it's a great guitarist in a shitty band. However, that is my choice so far, is Bad Company. That should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame long ago. Now, another artist that's in the 2025 roster was Billy Idol. Now, yeah, I mean, you think Billy Idol, to me, when he just breathes kind of rock and roll. I mean, he is the epitome of a rock star too. You know, the snare from Elvis, the country of and blues of songs like Sweet 16. It's kind of creepy song, but however, the leather, just the image, the whole thing. And he does come from a punk rock background, being the lead singer for Generation X. And, look at the hits here: Eyes Without a Face, Rebel Yell, White Wedding. And it's been part of the MTV campaign, his face, his image. I want my MTV back in the day. And so for him to be finally recognized and inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and having Green Day inducted in 2015, other than Billy Idol, is a joke. That band is a total woke movement pick. That's why they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, when it's pretty much that movement was just them. They are the epitome of a woke band. It's just ridiculous, and I'm so glad that they're picking rock and roll bands that are kind of not limp-wristed like Green Day or the Chili Peppers. They're more as they would call it, toxic masculinity, right? So it's the return of the male rock star. So, however, there are some great female rock stars, and Cyndi Lauper being one of them. And she was part of that whole MTV generation, the beginnings of it, and she was ready for MTV. She had this image all by herself. Great songs on here. This is her debut. Money Changes Everything. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. When You Were Mine, she was already covering Prince, and that was from his Dirty Mind album, Time After Time, which is a classic. Lots of people have covered that song. She Bop, All Through the Night. There you go, Cyndi Lauper. She should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Then Tupac Shakur, who was inducted in 2017, which is a joke. He was just like a dancer and then movie star kind of guy. Then, this whole gangster rap thing was so fake. However, they put him in there, and he was just a Dr. Dre disciple. And Dr. Dre was already inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because, yes, he is a great producer. He was NWA. NWA should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They are a dangerous band, the world's most dangerous band, right? But Tupac is just someone who was just, in his coattails, pretty much. Just he was just a lot of hype to me. I always felt like he was just overrated. Now, next is, I feel like this band should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame long ago, but hey, they're getting their due now, 2025. And Soundgarden, which is one of these Seattle bands that was actually the first one to be signed to a major label. Then came Alice in Chains and Nirvana and the whole, Pat, Pearl Jam. Their rise to stardom was kind of low key. It wasn't an overnight thing like some of the other bands, but that's great. However, they were kind of heavy, like Sabbath, psychedelic, and punk, and they were all kinds of different things than just grunge. There's so much, and then you got that voice of Chris Cornell over it. He should have been having an acceptance speech of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2021, other than Foo Fighters, so the Foo Fighters were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And that's another woke, limp-wristed band. Dave Grohl, it's such a, I don't know, that band to me is just, it's not, I don't see it as a rock band. It's just, he's in the club, and he gets to do whatever he wants, and if he just takes his marching orders and cheers for the left. Like the last election, he was trying to sue, the Trump campaign for using My Hero because of the whole RFK thing. And it was stupid because they licensed the song through BMG. So he looked like a fool. And they were able to use it. So he didn't get anything. However, yes, it should have been Soundgarden and the Foo Fighters in the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He should just be happy that he's in because of Nirvana. That's the only place where I felt he was useful as a part of the great rock and roll history of bands. Nirvana is a great band, and he should just be in the Hall of Fame because of that band, not the Foo Fighters. That band sucks. Okay, so my next band is Oasis. Oasis, the Britpop, started that kind of thing. Well, they didn't really start it. However, they made it more popular. And these brothers, Noel and Liam, they wrote a lot of great songs. Well, mainly Noel did. And they were attacked for being a Beatles kind of rip-off band, which is, I guess that would be a compliment to Noel, to say that you sound like the band that he fucking worships. However, I felt like Oasis should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame long ago, because Eminem was inducted in 2022. I think Oasis should have been in there instead of Eminem. What the hell is Eminem doing in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Nothing. No, he's establishment. He's so phony. Oasis was that band that kind of filled that void of, or brought it back. This attitude, that rock and roll attitude. Because I felt like as great as the grunge bands were in the early 90s, there was a softness to them there was a lot of this feminist kind of, you know, kind of appeal to those bands where these guys were kind of those rock stars that didn't give a fuck. Again, they were kind of misogynist and they didn't care. They did their drugs and they owned it. And, you know, they talk shit about other bands and, you know, way before what Eminem was doing, you know, it just, yeah, Oasis should have been there long ago. And hopefully they will be there and they will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They stressed so many times that they hated the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But for them to be there and talk shit about the Hall of Fame would be cool. So moving along, another pair of siblings in the American side would be the Black Crowes. Oddly enough, they did tour with Oasis at one time. They had the Brotherly Love tour, and they survived. Now, this band, it's throughout the 90s, this was the band that pretty much was on their own little trajectory of being kind of, to me, like the Faces meets the Allman Brothers meets the band meets Led Zeppelin. They were just like all these great bands in one, for the 90s, and they were just great live. They would just jam out forever. Now I did a video on this new album, Happiness Bastards, and I didn't give it a good review. This is probably their worst album ever, and however, it is their year to shine. They're pretty much doing the whole circuit. They're doing the legacy media. They're going out there putting themselves out there, just playing the hits and this album. And you know, I did mention in this video that because what they're doing with this campaign, they'll probably win a Grammy or be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And they were close to winning a Grammy as for Best Rock Album, but the Stones beat them to it. But however, hopefully they'll get in. They should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame than, say, Rage Against the Machine, which was inducted in 2023. They should have been in way before that band. That band is a joke. I did a video on them, and Tom Morello is, yeah, he was the only one that showed up for the ceremony. The rest of the band didn't care, and they don't know if they're socialists, communists, or whatever, but they're posing as these kinds of threats, but they're really capitalists in disguise. So they're fake. So with that being said, moving on, my last pick for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is Outkast. Now this is a real hip hop groundbreaking group. They should just get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because of this album in itself. The Speaker Box Love Below, this is their creative peak. This is like that album where artists have that creative peak where they put out the double album, the triple album, like Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder, or Physical Graffiti by Zeppelin, or, you know, even Melancholy and Infinite Sadness by Smashing Pumpkins. And this was their hip hop masterpiece. And when I think of this album, it's like some of those great albums where it's just like it's all over the place. It's not just really hip hop. It's just there's all these different kinds of music that they're doing on here. I mean, even jazz, to rock, and you know, the songs. Hey Yeah was a big hit off this album, along with Roses, and what was the Way You Move. And but the whole thing is this is a great album, and this band should have been in the Hall of Fame before Missy Elliott, who was inducted in the 2023 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and she, to me, was a DEI pick. She was black, she's a woman, she checked the boxes, and I felt like it kind of downgrades Missy because she is talented. She has some great albums out there, but you know, Outkast kind of paved the way for her. Outkast won the best album of the year Grammy for this album, way before those albums came out. So they snubbed Outkast and checked the boxes, because that same year it was like all women. They had like Kate Bush, or they would have Sheryl Crow. I mean, they're great artists and they deserve it, but it just seemed like, okay, let's just have women this year. Let's gotta get a black one. Let's have Missy Elliott in there, and with dignity, she went up there and accepted of being into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But she even knows that even Outkast should be there before her. But that is just my thoughts, my opinions. You could take it for how you like it. Leave me a comment below. What are your thoughts on my 7 picks of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the 2025 class? I think another notable artist was Joy Division and New Order. If one of these don't make it, hopefully that's a band that would be in there, because yes, they're groundbreaking as well. I didn't know. I wanted to put them in there as much, but there's just so many great choices. So that is my picks, and leave me a comment below. And with that, I'll shut up and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.